Alright brickers, welcome back to the channel after our little extended Christmas break. We've made some progress with the brick that you haven't seen yet on YouTube. The last video we did was on the fuel pressure regulator and getting all that plumbed in. That's all done. The extra things is kind of the intercooler piping, and we've done a bit of heat management and made a little bit of progress, buttoning a few systems up like the water, air, fuel, oil. So I'll get to do a bit of an update with that. But for now, today, we just want to get back into the swing of things. I think what I'm going to do is we'll get the two main coolant lines, or the coolant pipes from the radiator, cut to size and fitted. And then what we're going to do is just make a list of the things that I need, the main things to get the car running. But there's just this kind of list of really annoying little jobs. So I think I'm just gonna get that list written down, and then we'll just start going through them one by one, and hopefully we will make some progress. So let's go. First thing I'm gonna do though, I want to get the bonnet off the car, just because this area is really dark and the light is just behind the bonnet, even though the bonnet is vertical. So I'm going to get the bonnet off, but to get the bonnet off I need it to be on the wall, and I had mounted these and they were mounted with pretty rubbish roll plugs, so gonna get some new plugs in the wall, get these two on the wall, and then we can get the bonnet on the wall, and then we'll have a nice clear and light area to work in. So a bit of progress from last time. It's mostly just a few heat management things. I started trying to make a heat shield for the brake master cylinder because we are right-hand drive. It's close to the downpipe. I've still got to wrap the downpipe. Got a massive turbo blanket, Hurricane turbo blanket from Speeding Parts. Use your code DriftBricker for 10% off. You know how it goes. Thank you very much everybody who's been using your code already. And we've got more Hurricane heat management on every single thing. The coolant from the coolant overflow, even on the coolant tank. We've got some aluminium tape, and we've got this lovely wrap over the oil feed to the turbo. We've got one on the oil drain to the turbo. We've got them pretty much everywhere. We've even got, if I can see in there, can we not? Not really. The hard water pipe I have also wrapped. Can't see it anywhere. Massive, again, Hurricane air filter, also from Speeding Parts, obviously. This is rated to 1,200 horsepower. Should be good enough. I had the Ram Air one. Where are we? Over here. Had the Ram Air one, but I just wasn't super happy with it, so I've gone for this humongous 1,200 horsepower one from Hurricane, which I really, really like. And then we've got our 4.5 inch intake here, and there's a aluminium tube here, also 4.5 inch. Just so it's not, not silicon on rubber. There is actually a hard piece of aluminium tube in there. Over there, we have some lovely coolant pipe from, obviously, Speeding Parts. Really Gucci. I think this one's 30 odd millimeter. Really, really well put together. But the thing is with this stuff is it's bendy, really flexible. You can see how it's made up there. If I can get some better light on there. So the idea is, we'll go on here, on this end, on the radiator, and the other end is going to go, like, kind of go out in a kind of question mark sort of arrangement, and then into there. And then the lower one is somewhere down under there. There's not loads of room. Oh, we can see it just about there. We'll zoom in. In there. And then that will go to the bottom of the rad, which is also just completely not visible. So we're gonna have to be underneath the car to look at that one. But obviously this one's nice and accessible. And I'm kind of maximizing the amount of bend this can actually do. You can see it'll be bunched up on the inside there, but it shouldn't cause any issues with flow or structural rigidity or anything like that. So the plan is just we're gonna have a look at the length, what length I want to cut it. We'll cut it and then we'll offer it up and see how it looks. Also, I've only got this one, so I need to do both pipes with this one pipe, so I can't really mess it up. Also, I've taken the Momo wheel out of the car. It's very old, it's about 10 years old. It's supposed to be suede, but it really isn't. And we've got a new fancy hot boy wheel. Some of you might have seen this on Instagram, but let's have a look. You can see here it's a lot less deep dish than the Momo. I'm in. Oh. Right, let's zoom out a bit. There we go. Right, welcome Brickers to my cockpit. This is my lovely hydro from, this was originally from Luca Car Mods in the Netherlands. It was a prototype and it's worked very, very well for me, and I will continue to use it as I have been in the last couple of years. Complete with a sticker Nordic Rockets, which is from Swedish Boost Mafia. You see behind it, we've got a new screen. How cool is that? So it's like a really big, it's like doubled in plus, it's like 11.1 inch or something. But it kind of moves. It's like on a pivot thing, so I can point it towards us. But basically I've just got this like big screen, and that is going to have all of my gauges on. So the ECU is going to connect to this, and this will have everything, my whole dash, oil pressure, temperature, air fuel ratios, boost, the whole lot. Everything you think of, every temperature, every pressure I need, every point of reference, and it's going to have, you know, a bit of if it's bad, it'll go red. You know, if it's good, it'll stay green, kind of thing. I can't wait to get this up and running. It's one of the things I'm really excited about. So when I'm driving, I'm gonna hopefully have my stock dash working as normal. I might have to run an extra wire for the rev counter. So we'll have a look at that when we're coming to it. But it's such a low priority at this point. Not really too bothered because everything's going to be on here. But anyway, I'm here because of my steering wheel. How hot boy is that again? Funny enough, I just mentioned I got my my hydro from Luca Car Mods in the Netherlands, and actually this steering wheel is a hand-me-down from Luca himself as well. He messaged on Instagram, I think I've seen his story, and he was like, anyone want this? And I was like, yes, I'll have it. So he shipped it to Belgium, and then I brought it back from Belgium. Still got me Volvo alloy wheel centre cap sticker on here for my horn button. But yeah, neochrome and gloss white, it's quite loud. The main thing a few things I wanted to test, because this came up so cheap, I just couldn't refuse. The material, it's like a gloss white plastic urethane type thingy. I don't know what it's made out of, but I want to test it without gloves, with gloves, see how grippy it is compared to the old suede one up there. And also being less deep dish. You can't really tell in this, but like, it's being less deep dish, it's now further away from us, and I can now see the top of the Speedo, and overall just my driving position is a lot nicer as well. It's just a really you know, it's much better. Before it was just too close to us, so with a less deep dish, that's also what I'm testing out. Still at this point not sure whether I like the color combination. It's really offensive. I really didn't get it for that. You know, I might get a different wheel at some point. But yeah, it'll be nice to test out. Worst case, I mean, that wheel works really well and has done for years, so I can go back to it. But yeah, I just think it kind of ties in with the neochrome sticker as well. Oh, I've got the Swedish version, I forgot about that. Crasher, you can't really see it. It says Crasher Faninta. So yeah, Right, brickers, let's make a little bit of a to-do list, and this is going to get added to as I realise more and more things that I'd completely forgotten about that need doing. However, I know where I'm kind of going to start from, so I think we'll go from there, and I'll just kind of rattle off all of the little jobs that I need to do. So first of all, we've got our coolant hoses. Or let's call it, whoa, what happened there? I didn't like rubbing out. Rad hoses. Check. The next thing I want to do in order is mount the battery. So we're going to relocate the battery behind the passenger seat. So I've got a nice little cage for the battery. So we need to mount that cage so we can chuck the battery in it. That'll be a nice job done. May involve drilling holes in the floor, and I've got a riv nut gun. Might use riv nuts, might just use nuts and bolts. So I'll mount the battery, mount the ECU. That's a good one. So we need to decide where it's going to go. And then once we've decided where it's going to go, I need to actually physically mount it to the car. Also, because of the battery and the ECU being inside the cabin, we need to route the main harness through the bulkhead or firewall, and the same with the two main battery leads as well. So we've got the bulkhead battery cables. So they have their own little fitting on the bulkhead, the kind of quick release fittings. So they need to be fitted. Basically, just drill 2 holes and then you kind of fit them up, and then you've got a quick release for the battery on the bulkhead if needed. And also, yeah, we'll say main harness, bulkhead. I can't spell honest. Bulkhead, pass through. Yeah, whatever. I know what that means. We need to mount the gas pedal, the accelerator pedal. So because on this build I'm going for drive-by wire or an E-throttle, there's no physical cable going from the accelerator pedal to the throttle body on the engine. It's all going to be controlled electronically, and because of that, I need a different accelerator pedal, which I do have. I've got 2 different ones actually, but regardless, they need fitting in the car. So I'll call it gas pedal just because it's easier to write than accelerator. Thank you, Americans. That I might need to make a bracket, or again, riv nuts and screw it, bolt it into where it sits on the bulkhead. We'll have a look at that. I do need to change the fuel pump. The fuel pump, I have a Walbro 255 litres an hour fuel pump, so that needs fitting. Not looking forward to that. This job here is, I'm going to put that off as long as I possibly can. I don't like swapping fuel pumps in these bricks. What else have we got? For crappy jobs, we need to finish mounting the oil cooler. So the oil cooler only has 1 mount, so the oil cooler upper mount, we need to sort that out. Might involve making a bucket. Or the vacuum system. I'm going to do a video on the vacuum system. There's lines that need to be ran. I've got a vacuum station from Speeding Parts, and the vacuum station is where all of the vacuum lines just route to. It's just so we've got one central point for the vacuum system to be kind of plumbed to. We've got going from the turbo, we've got going from the inlet manifold. We need a line that goes to the ECU for the boost reference, even to the fuel pressure regulator for the boost reference. There's quite a few lines to be ran which I haven't, and I also need to mount said vacuum station somewhere on the bulkhead as well, so that's another thing to look at. So I'll probably have all that in a separate video, and we'll get the vacuum system locked off. Yeah, I guess we'll leave that there for now. But apart from the few like little fiddly jobs, I'm just really excited to get the ECU mounted and have the harness come from the ECU, go through the bulkhead, and we'll plug absolutely everything we possibly can in onto the engine, and then we'll make a new list of just the plugs, the electronic plugs that we are missing, the things that, so we'll need to buy some plugs, we'll need to change some plugs, we'll need to add some wires in, but if we get to the point of having the ECU mounted and the main harness coming through the bulkhead, that'll be a nice job done. Won't get it done in this video, but for now I just kind of wanted to get a video out, you know, just so everybody knows that the project's back on. We've had a couple of months off over Christmas, and now we're going to have a really hard push to get the engine running. Hopefully, you know, February, March, we'll be thinking about getting it tuned. That would be very nice. But yeah, stay tuned, Brickers, and it's nice to see you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Another quick one, I need to heat wrap my downpipe. That's a nice job to be done. Heat wrap. I think that's quite a nice video to do a how-to on as well. So I've got some titanium wrap again from Speeding Parts.